What's up, good people? It's Fine Fancy Homie Jay. And I had a lot of people in the comments and like personally pinging me. If I would do a full guide on Monk, breaking it down to the simplest terms. And I've never been a person who like thought people would enjoy longer videos. So I've always tried to keep my videos at like a really manageable time frame. Um, so if I'm going to give it a shot, completely, this is off the cuff because this is new to me, a new format of doing a video for me. If you enjoy longer videos, let me know if this is helpful. I would love to be able to do more of these if it is. But I would just love some feedback. So before we get into that, I just wanted to say that. Also appreciate everybody who's been showing nothing but love on my month content. I'm glad to see that it's coming through for everybody and helping everybody out. And I hope the vibes are always there and always positive for you. So for sure, for sure. So let's break this down into like the basic, like let's go over kind of the whole thing, right? If you're a new monk, if you're a returning monk, a veteran monk, hopefully this guide can provide something to you, as I have been grinding monk for an entire week. Like since day one of 6.0. And even though monk has went through some changes, as I've been planning, if you watch the other videos, you understand like I went through a slew of emotions. But as I've been playing, and I feel like I'm falling in love with monk again. So let's break this down into simple terms. So like how like rotations, how to think about your rotations, what the new abilities is, what the new match, how the new matchful gauge works, and break it even further down, right? So hopefully, like I said, hopefully this helps. And this is just me going off the cuff, so bear with me if I ramble a little bit. But I think this video can be very helpful for you and for myself as I continue to learn more. If I can explain it, then I'm doing something right. All right, so starting out, as you see, my hotbar is set up in a very certain way that I think works for me. So that's number one thing, you want to make sure you get your hotbar right. But as Monk as a whole, and the one thing that hasn't changed about Monk, no matter if you're coming from new Monk or old Monk, that at the heart of it, Monk is still the same class. At the core of it, you still got your boot shine, your true strike, and your snap punch, which is usually your first three. And for this video, I'm gonna call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I'm gonna call it for this video, so I don't create confusion of saying like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because when I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's the bunches of combo. That's the bunches of moves that will help explain it. So hopefully, you can follow that, and that makes a little more sense when I explain this. So usually at the core of Monk, our first three combos gonna be boot shine, true strike, into a snap punch. Snap punch in 6.0 is the only ability now that has a positional damage, and that positional is from the flank. Boot shine used to have a flank position, I mean a rear position. True strike also used to have a rear position, and snap punch used to have a flank. So we used to have 6 positionals, but we're down to just 2. So that's good for everybody who's enjoying Monk now and having to come in. There's less focus on positionals, and I think I understand why, because they want you to focus more on your free flowing combo. So starting out in any rotation, and let me make sure my sound isn't too high that I can talk as I do this. Your rotation usually will always start off in any lower level content. It's just your 1, 2, 3. Your boot shine into your true strike into your snap punch. The positional is flank. No idea why I hit the back. And this is where you're gonna get your bonus damage. As you improve, you're gonna want to always try to hit your positionals, and there's only 2, which is snap punch, and the other one is demolish. And I know at first you're thinking, oh, it's not too much damage, like it's 250 to 310, but that's 60 extra damage that will start adding up as you continue to punch. Since Monk is constantly hitting these combos, you're gonna want to do your best to try to hit your flank and your rear positionals. Worst case, you pop a true north, and you'll be completely fine, right? So now let's go into the meat and potatoes of it, and then obviously you'll get your 4, 5, 6, which is your dragon kick, um, your twin snakes, which is gonna give you your buff, and then your demolish, which is your rear ability. So you have 2, like I said. Snap punch is your flank, and demolish is your rear ability. So you always want to try to make sure you hit demolish from behind, and always try to use twin snakes whenever possible, because if we look at our tooltip here, twin snakes is an ability that will give you Discipline Fist, which is different than what it used to be called. I don't know why they changed it to Discipline Fist. But what Discipline Fist does is it increases your damage dealt by 15%. 15% is a lot. And you always want to make sure that you keep that on as much as possible. But one of the two main things as a new monk, as a returning monk, is the two main abilities that you want to make sure you're rocking with at all times. And I keep looking left. I apologize because this is my Twitch setup. So I'm used to like hanging out and talking to chat. So I'm gonna do my best to try like to look here, but also I'm probably gonna look left like, just out of habit. So one of the two things that you want to keep up as much as possible in the fight is your discipline fist. This is what happens when you do this straight waking up, and your demolish, because your discipline fist is gonna give you a damage buff, and your demolish gives you your dot, which are the two things that we as monks is what we have to balance. Like as you get better at monk, you want to get better at trying not to drop twin fist or demolish, especially twin fist. Demolish, if it falls off as you're getting back to it, that's usually completely fine. Twin snakes, this discipline fist is what you want to try to keep active as much as possible. Since discipline fist lasts for 15 seconds, you'll want to try to like pop it every 5 seconds left. You want to try to throw it back on, right? With demolish, you can take it down. You can take your dot down to like 1 second, right? And I'll kind of show you how the flow works, and then we'll go into talk about Masterful Blitz. We'll go into talking about your chakras and working around that. So for a basic opener, like if you're starting off super fresh, and you haven't unlocked form shift yet, we're just gonna be chilling and just starting off with a simple boot shine into like your 3 combo, right? But at heart, what you want to try to do as you level up is go into a form shift. So like your basic combo, if we're not looking at anything like this, is we're gonna activate form shift, because what form shift does is it allows us to do any ability and get the benefit off of it. And 199% of the time, 99% of the time, you're gonna want to start off with a dragon kick, because what dragon kick does, if you use it in form shift, is it gives you this cool laden fist. And what laden fist is an ability that is the passive ability that attaches to boot shine. And what it does is that when you get laden's fist, it guarantees your next boot shine with critical hit. And that is where you're gonna get the most damage from. That's where you're gonna get your 310 and get some really good damage. And since you also get the 310, it's guaranteed a critical hit, which means it will do more damage than Dragon Kick. I know at first you're gonna look at it and say, well, Dragon Kick does 320, and Boot Shine with Layden's only does 310. It's like, this is correct. But with the crit is always gonna be more than 320. Your basic opener, your basic rotation, your basic combo is always gonna be a form shift into a Dragon Kick, into your twin snakes. Make sure you hit your demolish from the rear. We're gonna go into a Layden's, into a true strike, into a snap punch, which will make sure you hit your flank. That at the core is the basic of the combo. All right, that's your opener. That's your opening combo on a very basic level, right? Because I love making content to help people kind of like set the foundation of their monk and then grow from there. I will be posting more like advanced stuff. We can talk about it here, but I also don't want to confuse people and make sure people have the opportunity to kind of understand how monk works on a very basic level. That is pretty much an opener. We'll go over it again. When you go into a fight, you're gonna hit form shift. You're gonna go with a dragon kick so we can get our Layden's boost. Hit our twin snakes to get our damage buff. Demolish from the rear to get the dot over time. We're gonna go into our boot shine, straight into our true strike, straight into our snap punch. Make sure we hit the flank to get the bonus. Flank is the side, and then rear is the booty cheeks. So him in the butt cheeks. From there, we're gonna kind of grow on our rotation, right? And like I said in my previous video, once you hit level 60, like this is the most like that's pretty much your rotation. Like once you hit level 60 monk, you're gonna get everything you need to start building like to fully understand your rotation. So let's break down exactly what Masterful Blitz is. I feel like my breakdown of monk, my early breakdown of monk was a good way of just start trying to talk about how Masterful Blitz work, and that was also me trying to understand it myself. So let's break down what Masterful Blitz is. Masterful Blitz is this new chakra gauge that gives you that you earn. You're working to earn two different kind of, I'm gonna say, kind of moons. Like you're working to earn two different moons, where you're working to earn a, I believe one's called lunar and the other one's called nadi. So you're working to earn a lunar chakra and you're working to earn a nadi chakra. If I said those names wrong, please forgive me. I'm terrible at English. Even though I speak English, I'm bad at it. Uh, so those are your two things you're trying to unlock. And to do that, to unlock lunar, it requires you to use 3 of the same forms. Every ability, every monk ability that you have comes with a form. For instance, Boost Shine is an Opal form. Dragon Fit Kick is also an Opal form. True Strike is your Raptor form. Twin Snakes is also your Raptor form. Snap Punch is your Coral form, and Demolish is also your Coral form. It's important to understand that you have 2 out of all 6 buttons. There's 3 versions of forms, and each version has 2 of the same ones. That's important to know as far as like how we want to go into our opener. And that's why I have my keyboard like this, because it kind of tells me, okay, here's my first 3 sets. Here's my second 3 sets. Here's my first form, they go together. Here's my second form, they go together. And my third form goes together. So we got Boost Shine and Dragon Kick, they have the same Opal form. True Strike and Twin Snakes, they have the same Raptor form. And Snap Punch and Demolish, that has the same Coral form. And to open our Masterful Blitz gauge, we have 2 requirements. We need to do 1 full combo of 3 of the same form, and then 1 full combo of 3 with different forms. That will be able to open up our finisher. And we need to make sure we do that. One thing, so if we do 1 full combo of the same form, we'll be able to do Elixir Field. In Elixir Field, it requirements that we hit 3 of the same combo. So we'll do 1 full set of a form. We'll unlock Elixir Field. We'll activate Elixir Field with our Master Blitz. And then we'll work our way into our second combo to activate. If you're level 60, it's going to be Flint Strike. If you're level 86, it's going to be Rising Phoenix. It just switches them out. Flint Strike is the one where you do 3 separate forms. And we're going to show that slowly. Okay. And then I'll try to show you the complete opener that I've been doing. Whether it's optimized or not, it's just, I think it's going to be a really good foundation of trying to understand how to work with Monk. So bear with me on that. So the goal here is that we unlock 2. We unlock both Lunar and Nadi. Elixir unlocks Lunar, Flint unlocks Nadi, so we can go into our Tornado Kick, which is our ultimate ability. Or once you hit level 90, it'll be Phantom Rush. Will be your ultimate ability that will produce the most damage you can possibly do. Celestial Revolution is our mess up button. As you can see, it's an option. What it does, it gives you Lunar or Nadi. Or it gives you Lunar or Solar. That's what they are. It gives you Lunar or Solar. So this one opens. So Elixir opens Lunar. Flint opens Solar. I knew it was some moon stuff, but they're both 90s. but Elixir opens Lunar. Flint opens Solar. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it works. What's the Celestial Revolution is your button. Say you are going to do your 3 different. You're going to do your 3 different forms to get Flint Strike, and you actually do 2 of the same form, that you can do a 3rd different form and you'll get Celestial Revolution, which will give you whatever chakra button that you don't, whatever chakra amount, where if you have Lunar, it'll give you Solar. If you have Solar, it'll give you Lunar. But what it is it only does 450 damage, where the other 2 does 600. So Celestial Revolution is your, oh man, I made a mistake button, but I can still get into my final Blitz rotation. So you don't really want to do Celestial Revolution unless you absolutely have to. And there's been times where you're just doing your thing, you're gonna accidentally fat finger a button like I do, and you just have to rock with Celestial Revolution. That's fine. It's better for you to use this button if you mess up than to not use it at all. So understand, this button still should be used if you make a mistake, but we're not trying to play around Celestial Revolution. That is actually our O button. So let's break this down in complete basic terms on how we will go into this fight as an opener. As an opener, the first thing we want to do is, let me reset the dummy. First thing we understand is that perfect balance, and also to back up on this, to initiate that Masterful Blitz, we have to use perfect balance. That is one of the newest things about Monk. Perfect balance has used to be just an ability that we use to just do burst damage. Now perfect balance is required for Masterful Blitz. Perfect balance now, when activated, gives you 3 stacks of formless shift to be able to do any buttons combinations we want. But also, as we do those buttons, it will count towards our blitz system. So that's how it works. So we need 1 perfect balance to activate our first move. I'm gonna say activate our lunar. 1 perfect balance to activate our solar. And then we need 1 perfect balance to be able to finish the entire Masterful Blitz combo, because the entire Masterful Blitz combo requires 2 perfect balances. Why do we only have 2 stacks? No idea. I think it's a way to help us reduce help keep our damage in check. But I got a video that I'm gonna drop on some changes that I'd like to see from Monk. We'd love to get your idea on that. So when you're going into a fight, the first goal is we need to unlock one of our Masterful Blitz rotations. So to do that, we're gonna go in. We're always gonna make sure we hit formless shift. Right? If your chakras aren't full, make sure those are filled up. But for simple terms, I'm just gonna keep it real basic. We're gonna activate formless shift. We're always gonna go in with dragon kick, so we can unlock our ladens. We're gonna go into twin snakes. We can go ahead and get our damage buff, and we're gonna go into our damage over time. We're gonna go into Laden's Fist, and then immediately go into a perfect balance, dragon kick into a boot shine, so we can get our Laden's Fist into another dragon kick. And now we've unlocked Unleash the Field. Now my damage buffs has fallen off. It's because I'm doing this slow. So don't feel like there isn't time. There's plenty of time. It's just because I'm doing this slow, for example. So don't stress too much about why all my stuff is falling off. So now, since we've done our first rotation, which when you want to do the single, when you want to unlock your lunar, you always want to try to do a dragon kick into a boot shine and dragon kick. That's the most damage. For one, your dragon kick is your highest potency damage ability. And then you're going to get the passive to make your boot shine crit right off of that, because perfect balance gives you free 3 formless shifts. And then you're going to go right back into your dragon kick, because you'll unlock another Ladens that you'll see how this combo flows. And that Ladens is going to be important. So now we unlocked. So then it activated our elixir field, and we used it to unlock our first cute little bubble here, right? So this is our lunar. And if I had them backwards, I apologize. I'm pretty sure that's our lunar. Elixir gives us lunar, and the other one gives us solar. So now we have our first bubble. Now we want to get, if we was playing, and I'll show you the full rotation that I have after. Now the goal of Monk is to work on getting your second bubble, which if you was already in a fight, at this point, we will be at this part of the rotation. We can go straight into our perfect. We can go straight into our twin snakes, go back into our demolish, use our ladens, and then go into our perfect balance. Now we can do a true strike, because that's 1 form, snap punch, which we're gonna hit on the side, and then we can go into a dragon kick. There's any 3 combinations, but the goal is to make sure that you do 3 different ones. You could do a dragon kick into a twin snakes into a demolish. That'll give you 3 different ones. You can go into a twin snake demolish into a boot shine. That'll give you 3 different ones. You can go into a boot shine, true strike, snap. That'll give you 3 different ones. And then we want to make sure that we use for me, it's gonna be Rising Phoenix. For you, it's going to, if you're below level 86, it's going to be Flint Strike. And that unlocks our second Masterful Blitz here. So now we are 2/3 of the way done with our combo. So after we lock our second form, we want to go into our last form, which is going to give us the most powerful ability possible, which is level 60 Tornado Kick or level 90 Phantom Rush. So once you unlock those 2, what you want to do is, and like I said, for simple terms, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to do an attack just so I can activate my perfect balance. We're going to go into our last perfect balance. For your perfect balance combo, for your last one, you can do any combination of the same or different. I recommend doing dragon kick into boot shine into dragon kick. That's going to be your strongest combo. And then finish it off with a tornado kick. Booyah, right? And as you can see, that gets rid of all of our Masterful Blitz gauges. Like everything, let me empty these out. All of our Masterful Blitz gauges. It's done. It's complete. We have completely did our rotation, and then we are working to get back to that. One of the things that you'll have to pay attention to in your perfect balance. So that pretty much explains Masterful Blitz and how that works. Is that the goal is to open lunar and then open solar, or the goal is to open solar and then lunar. You can open either one. But as for opener, I think there is a better preference to do it. So I will show you how that works. As a nice smooth opener, as optimizing for raids and stuff, that's going to change. People are still trying to figure it out. There's some rotations out there. People have rotations in the comments. Check those out and try those out. In my last video, I have a macro to help people with I called it cheek slapper, but help people with thunderclap. That's in my last video. I think that'll be a good macro to use to help you get around easier without having to click on everybody. But so let's take everything we've learned and let's pull it into a full balance, right? Let's do the whole thing. So usually when you want to start off a fight, you want to make sure that your forbidden chakra is max and your form shift. You always want to start off with form shift. And I'm not going to use any of my damage buffs because I kind of want to just show you the entire combo. Okay, so here's kind of the combo that I suggest to use and to build off of that. Is this the optimal combo? Probably not. Is this the final combo? No way. But this is gonna be a great foundation for you to kind of like run with your combo and then work for it. One of the biggest things that we want to do while we're doing this combo is we're keeping an eye on our damage buff and we're keeping an eye on our dot. As you see, I'm going to modify my combo to make sure that I'm always leaving these two things up. And I'm gonna try to say them out loud as I go. And if they drop, it's because I'm going slower than what like you normally would. So like, no, you normally would, but hopefully I can keep it up and talk at the same time. So if we go into a fight, right, where everything's fresh and new, we're gonna hit formula shift, we're on our way to the boss. You know, you can dash in if you want. If you aren't used to dashing in yet, you can walk in. But you know, you're gonna kind of dash into the fight. You're gonna go straight into your dragon kick, straight into your twin snakes. We're gonna go into a demolish, and then we're gonna go into boot shine. We're gonna activate our true strike. We're gonna go into a dragon kick, into a boot shine, into a dragon kick. We're gonna activate our elixirs. We're gonna immediately go into our buff because our buff is about to fall. We can immediately go into our dot damage to get that back up. We can go back into our boot shine because we got the latents. Go instantly back into perfect balance, into a true strike, into a snap punch, and then we can finish off with a dragon strike to get our third one, right? Activate our phoenix. Our damage buff has fallen off, so I'm gonna apply that back on. I'm going to apply on our dot again, and then I'm gonna go back into a latents. And then we're just gonna vibe. Perfect balance comes back, and then we're just gonna go into another dragon kick, into a boot shine, into a dragon kick, and then finish it off with a tornado kick. And that is the one of the best opening combos you can do as you're learning Monk. Is it the best opening combo? No, because you got to add on your buffs. You got to add on your, you know, you're hitting your forbidden chakras and all that. So you add all that stuff. But that is one of the best combos I say as starting out on Monk to try. And if you need to be able to break this down, I'll do it again. I'll try to do it at a faster speed to kind of show exactly how it is. But I wanted to explain, like, the goal is to make sure that we leave twin snakes and demolish up while we're getting our perfect balances in, which means that, like, if you're good on your buffs, then you know you're gonna modify your combo to make sure that you're doing like the max damage possible. So at full speed on the basic level, I'm just gonna do it again. This time I'm just gonna do a full speed version of it. I'm going in with my formula shift. I'm dashing in. I'm doing dragon kick. I'm getting my damage buff. I'm doing my dot. Right. I'm doing my latents. I'm going into a perfect balance, to a dragon kick, into a boot shine, into a dragon kick. We're gonna do elixir. We're gonna put our damage buff back on. We're gonna put our dot back on, into our latest buff again. We're going straight into another perfect balance. I'm going to true strike and snap punch here. Finish it off with a dragon kick. Now we have our latents again. We can do rising phoenix. Put our damage buff back on. Put our dot back on. Go into our latents. At this point, we're just waiting for our last form to come up. So I'm just kind of just following the simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rotation. Our demolish is good, so I'm actually gonna do a snap punch here. I'm gonna go into a ladens. I'm just following my basic rotation. I'm gonna add demolish here because it's about to drop off. We're gonna go to a dragon punch. We're gonna go to a twin snakes. And then I'm gonna go to a snap punch into a perfect balance after the ladens. I wanna use my ladens first. And then we're gonna go to a perfect balance. Dragon kick, boot sign, dragon kick, tornado kick. Whoa, was I able to do all that, explain that, and not mess up? Good job, Jay. I'm so proud of you, bro. I'm so proud of me. Oh, but that is pretty much like the opening rotation of the first like 40 seconds of the fight. Right, you're gonna be adding in your Riddle of Fires. I would suggest adding your Riddle of Fires and your Brotherhood into your perfect balance rotation. So, for instance, like if you're in your perfect balance rotation, like you start in your combo, right, and you get here after you do latents, I would suggest like getting in the habit of practicing using Riddle of Fire and Riddle of Brotherhood here, and then going into your perfect balance, and then weaving in any forbiddens that you get, because you're gonna get them from critting, right? And I feel like that is where our burst window is going to come from. Our burst window is going to come from using our Riddle of Fire, our Brotherhood. I feel like Riddle Wind, you can kind of use it whenever it's off cooldown, because of how it works. It's just a double auto attack for one auto attack. But I feel like the goal is going to be to, like, if you're going to higher content like raiding and savages and stuff, it's going to be optimizing when to use your Riddle of Fire and when to use your Brotherhood. And I feel like you want to use those in your perfect balance window and save them until your perfect balance window. How does that look yet? Don't know. Haven't gotten to the savage content yet, so I can't tell you how that looks yet. As I finish story, as I get to 90, as I start messing with the extreme trials, I will start, dropping videos on that part. I hope at a basic level, this explains more on the thought process of Monk. One of the biggest things you want to do as Monk is just make sure you keep your twin snakes and your demolish up. And in your perfect balance rotation, always try to keep an eye on that to make sure you're doing it. As you see, after I did a full perfect balance, I always went back to activating my twin snakes and my demolish as a basic level. But if demolish is like above 6 seconds, you'll want to throw in snap punch instead of demolish, and then just go into your boot shine. But on a basic level, to just build good habits and start understanding how your rotation looks, you always want to keep an eye on twin snakes and demolish. So I'll do it one more time because I know like people are gonna really enjoy like understanding how this combo works, and I'll try to explain out loud again. So we're gonna go in form shift, we're gonna dash in, we're gonna go into dragon kick, and then we're gonna activate our damage buff. We're gonna activate our damage over time. We're gonna go into our latents, and then we immediately go into our perfect balance, into a dragon kick, into a boot shine, into a dragon kick. Do forbidden chakra whenever you can. We're gonna do our elixir. We're gonna put our damage buff back on because it was just falling off. We can put our damage over time back on. We can do another latents, go into another perfect balance. We can do a true strike, into a snap punch, into a dragon kick. Use our rising phoenix. Our damage buff just fell off. We're gonna put our damage buff back on. We're gonna do our demolish, put that back on. We're gonna use our latents combo. We're just waiting for the last part. We're gonna use our forbidden chakra if we can. You're gonna, try to find a way to put these into your combos. We're just vibing right now. I'm gonna put my damage buff back on. I'm gonna do this. You never want to use perfect balance outside of your latents. Use our latents, go into our last perfect balance. We're gonna do a dragon kick, into a boot shine, into a dragon kick, and then murder that heifer with your tornado kick, right? And like that's like at the base level, that is your 40 second combo that I think is a really good combo. That I feel like that combo will take you far. And like I said, when you activate your perfect balance, or go to activate your perfect balance, throw on your Riddle of Fire, throw on your Brotherhood to get that extra damage. I feel like you're gonna want to try to work around adding these into your perfect balance rotation. Not for sure if they necessarily are good to add into your just kind of your basic combo. But for practice, I would just hit these as you go to get in the habit of using these as you're doing your rotations and stuff. Because what Brotherhood does is it gives you extra 5% damage. Riddle of Fire gives you extra 15% damage. So that gives you extra 20% damage, and that's for everything. So you want to try to, I think you want to make sure these are active together, especially because this comes down every 1 minute. So you can use Riddle of Fire twice before you have to use a Brotherhood. Or yeah, you get to use Riddle of Fire twice before you have to use before you can use your second Brotherhood. I hope this video is super helpful. Like I said, if this longer content is something you're into where I'm not like rushing to explain things, let me know. Obviously, this was just me talking and having a conversation with y'all. So if it's a little bit of rambling, I do apologize, but I hope that at the core that this sets up a good foundation. If you enjoy these videos, I will drop more videos like this if enough people are interested in it. And we can go deeper onto like how to weave into your Riddle of Fire, how to weave your Brotherhood, how to weave your Will and Win, and just thinking about true north and how to like put that all together. As always, and always drop a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you like it, Monk. I'm loving the conversation. I appreciate everybody who's showing love and support for these videos. I do what I can for my Final Fantasy community, not just my Monk community. You know, I do make other videos on other content, but right now Monk is something that is really fresh. So I'm trying to make sure that people understand it. And as always, happy questing. If you ever want to hit me up, my Discord link is in the description below, or hit me up on Twitch. I'm always there and having a great conversation with y'all. And I will catch y'all on this video because I feel like my voice is like gone and I got to go fix this.